I've got some bad news. Turns out the Build Back Better plan is dead. It will not be happening this year and probably not ever, according to Senator Joe Manchin. Great. So this is according to an article by Axios. Senator Manchin is planning to punt President's Build Back Better agenda at least until next year, citing inflation. Oh, what a surprise. So now here's the thing, right? Is inflation a concern? Obviously. Yes, things are more expensive than they used to be. Weird because, things have been getting more expensive for a long time. And yes, there's been a pretty big jump this year. I think it was like 6.2%. That is pretty disastrous. And gas prices, of course, now that's a result of OPEC slowing production in order to make their money back from, the losses that they incurred because people were not using gas as much oil during the pandemic. And so they're artificially raising the prices because, of course, they are. But yes, that is a concern. But what I don't understand here is how killing a bill that would help improve the material conditions of the working class would help with inflation, would help in with any of that stuff. How? Well, it doesn't. That's not going to help consumers facing rising prices. No, that's going to hurt them more. Nonetheless, Manchin gets his wish. He's not voting on the Build Back Better. Again, they're punting it to next year, and progressives get rolled. Now, understand that progressives really dropped the ball on this one. They did, absolutely. They screwed the pooch. They allowed for Manchin to first gut the bill, right, to a shell of its former self, along with, of course, Kyrsten Sinema. And then, for some reason, they gave away their leverage by voting for the corporate-backed bipartisan infrastructure bill. Now, again, that bill, the BIF, is the corporate bill, the corporate-backed bill that the corporations, the donors, couldn't wait to pass. And again, it's because it was filled with handouts, with pork, with the privatization of public assets, and of course the much vaunted public-private partnerships, and where basically the government overpays corporations in order to do infrastructure projects instead of hiring directly and saving money. Because, of course, we have to reward our friends in corporate America. Oh, yes. Now, the bill, again, that was leverage. Joe Manchin wanted the bill. Republicans wanted the bill. Everybody, except for progressives and the people of the United States, wanted the bill. But again, the only piece of leverage they have was pissed away by the so-called leadership of the Congressional Progressive Caucus. That's Pramila Jayapal. And by the way, most of the Congressional Progressive Caucus voted in favor of it, and now they're going to do marketing for this disaster of a bill. That, by the way, we're not even probably going to get. We're not going to get, a vote on the Build Back Better. There's now nothing that is going to stop Manchin from saying, you know what, I thought about it, and it turns out, it's just not the time. I just don't feel like it. Sorry. But wait, I thought you were waiting for inflation. Nope. I really, kind of strung you along, didn't I? Suckers. Now, there were 6 Democrats that voted it down. This is, and it's important to note these people, Representative Jamal Bowman, Cori Bush, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Ilhan Omar, Ayanna Pressley, and Rashida Tlaib. They voted no. They said, we're not going to give away our leverage. That's stupid. There's no promise from Joe Manchin or Kyrsten Sinema that they're going to vote for this. None at all. But Jayapal says, oh, don't worry. Trust Joe Biden. How did that turn out? Did Joe Biden actually get JoJo to go and do something about it? No, he didn't. JoJo's not going to vote on it. Oops, we got tricked again. Let's Lucy with the football. Suckers. You're all suckers, progressives. You got rolled. You know who else got rolled? The rest of the American people. Now we lose out on paid leave. We lose out on anything that was good in that bill. Child tax credits, even the stuff that was left, which wasn't great, still would have helped the American people. There was still climate change, about $500 billion worth of climate change action in there. But no, gone. Not going to happen. Quote unquote inflation. And by the way, so there's more. The Axios report also notes that with, quote, a limited number of legislative days left in the year, Manchin is content to focus on the issues that he believes needs to be addressed. They include funding the government, raising the debt ceiling, okay, passing the National Defense Authorization Act. Ah, yes, more military spending. By the way, military, when it comes to the military, you know what's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, polluter in the world, or at least compared to 140 countries? Yeah, the Pentagon, military. They emit more emissions and pollution than the next 140 to 144 countries. Gee, it's almost like maybe we should have done something about climate change and passed something in that Build Back Better. Nope, can't do it. Can't do it. You know why? Because a literal coal baron decided, I'm invested in coal. I'm invested in fossil fuels. Personally, by the way, I'm super, super corrupt. Well, you know, and I just don't want it to happen. And again, they handed it to him. Progressives did. Weak progressives, by the way, handed Manchin a victory, even though he, again, never made a promise to vote for it. And they gave away their leverage. They're the worst negotiators ever. By the way, you can't even call it a negotiation. It was a surrender. Complete and utter surrender. And now we get nothing. America, you get nothing. Nothing. Congratulations, Jayapal. Progressives, you played yourself. And by the way, Jayapal exposed herself as one of the weakest leaders in Washington. She should absolutely 100% lose her job. As far as progressives are concerned, nobody's going to take progressives, the Progressive Caucus, seriously ever. Why? Just let Joe Manchin roll all over you and then laugh. He's laughing in your face. Seriously. Pointing it, you know, it just is flaunting it, laughing in your face, saying, ha ha, duped again, you dumb motherfuckers. Congratulations. And again, Axios doesn't know, and this is the failure of the media. And I mentioned before, progressives, so-called progressives, are now going to be out there doing marketing for Build Back Better, which isn't going to happen. They're out there doing marketing. It's the saddest thing you've ever seen. Oh, it's super transformative. The bipartisan infrastructure is super transformative. What wonderful progress we have made in passing the bipartisan corporate bill, but not Build Back Better. Which, by the way, Democrats are going to get absolutely slaughtered in the midterms because they didn't do anything for the base. They've done absolutely nothing. But going back to the media, right? And so the media is also, they're fawning over this, oh, bipartisan infrastructure. What wonderful progress that we have made for this country. Oh, wonderful. That media, same media, never mentions the fact, Axios included, that Manchin is heavily invested in coal. Literally founded a coal company and is getting paid by a coal company. Literal coal baron. And he has super personal interests involved in making sure that we do nothing about climate change. This isn't about inflation. You think Joe Manchin gives a rat's ass about inflation? He doesn't care. He's not struggling. He's not struggling to fill his tank. Hell no. He's not struggling at the grocery store like millions of Americans' families right now. No, he's got a houseboat. He's raking it in. Doesn't care at all. No. Now, it's all about him making more money and protecting himself and his cash. Why don't you ever follow the money? You are the worst journalists I've ever seen, so-called fucking journalists who won't even do their job. You look at this gigantic trail of money. See, let me just point it out for you. This is real fucking easy, okay, guys? All right? All you have to do in politics is to look at who's funding who. Literally follow the money. That's it. Once you figure out who's paying who, you can see that, oh, wow, oh, gee, it looks like Joe Manchin is getting double his salary from a fucking coal company that he has invested in. I wonder why the fuck he is against doing anything about climate change and reducing emissions. But goddamn fucking journalists, so-called journalists in Washington, D.C., they go, oh, I don't know. I'm guessing he's being super, concerned about inflation. Give me a goddamn break. Just give me a break. It's all about the money. It's all about corruption. They are corrupt. This is crap. This isn't journalism. No, it's a journalistic failure. Absolute disaster. Well played, Joe Manchin. Well played. You won again. And it's because our progressives in this country are a fucking joke. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.